Cousineau from Sound of Prana, sharing some insights on being able to achieve your goals. I find that there's a lot of ways that you can take those actions and really progress towards your dreams and your vision. One of those that I find particularly powerful is to put a stake in the ground. And by a stake, I mean that kind of like pointy object that people can sometimes use to hold a tarp or a tent. And I'm not referring to the meat that other people tend to eat. So that is my French accent. And if you thought I was talking about food, well, no, it's not that kind of steak. Now let's get right into the meat of it. Okay, sorry guys, I just had to say that. So, but really, kidding aside, one of the ways that we can take actions is to box ourselves in a corner and to impose deadlines on ourselves, making sure that we cannot back out of our commitments. This is a really powerful technique because I find that if we leave it up to ourselves, and I'm talking for myself here, I just tend to push things away and say, oh, I'll do that tomorrow, I'll do that in 2 days, and next thing you know, I forget it was even on my to-do list. It's just out of sight, out of mind. And a lot of the people that I work with are facing similar challenges. Now, this doesn't have to be problematic if you have a system. And my system is to leave me no other options than to accomplish the intended action. I'll give you a practical example. Yesterday, I was featured on the Magnetic Lighthouse podcast. One of the things that I did on the podcast is offer a gift for which people had to go to a specific URL address to retrieve it. The only issue is that that URL did not exist the morning of that show. All the content was ready, everything was in place, but it didn't exist because it was part of launching the Sound of Prana 2.0 website. It was part of a redesign. So by setting up that gift, I had no other choice than to launch the website that evening when I would be announcing live that I would be providing this gift and giving them the URL to go and retrieve it. You might say, Paul, you're kidding. You could just have omitted that mention on the podcast and there you go. No website needed to launch. Well, I had also made that commitment to Jamie. That was the host. So he expected that I would be offering that gift to his listeners. And that's actually one of the first things that he said when he went on air, is that I was coming bearing gifts. Now, you can't really back out of that and think that you're going to come out intact. So what I'm proposing to you is box yourself in a corner, make a commitment, set up a structure so that you can accomplish your goals and realize the actions that are going to be getting you to that place of success.